Howdy, howdy. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show. And happy Friday. Hawaiian Shirt Friday. I did not get the memo.
Friday.
Friday.
The memo. It's every week after spring break until
Okay.
I guess, I don't know. I guess ended at kind of the end of July. August is usually the time where it's like, all right, time to
yeah. Well, I mean,
go
I'm
back
not
to life.
You know, I'm not a regular on this show right now.
That's
so
true.
It's like I always kind of forget the little bits that you guys do, and so I gotta catch back up.
This is an every week
so
bit.
This isn't every. Yeah, I know.
This is more
I do watch the show. I want.
Okay, I'll be honest. This is more of a thing of. This gives me an excuse to wear a Hawaiian shirt, which is great. But Hawaiian shirts,
and you got a lot of them,
are comfy. Like super, like this one especially, this one's really big and super soft.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's great for Friday because I can just throw on the Hawaiian shirt and be like, that's it. I don't have to try.
I love that. I love the pink one that you wear. You know, the one that you've let me borrow before?
Yep.
I think it's really nice.
With the palm trees. You know, it's funny.
It's really cool.
My brother and I actually have that exact same shirt.
How fabulous.
It just turned out, that one's a men's shirt. I think this one's a men's shirt too. I'm not 100% positive. Hawaiian shirts are kind of gender neutral shirts.
Right.
Like, it's kind of hard to tell. But Jake and I both have the same, that same pink Hawaiian shirt.
So is that your favorite bit that you and Tep do on this show?
Yeah, because
I've always been curious.
Like,
I know he doesn't do it, but like, what's your favorite bit that you guys do on TFT? I've always been curious of that because I love bits myself because I listen to the Ticket. And they've got bits galore on there. And so I just love the bits.
There's a lot. I do right now, like currently, like out of things that will eventually cycle itself out, Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
Like
that's a good one.
But those, like the segment bits are typically bits that are different throughout the year.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's stuff in the season that I like that we don't do during the off season. But if there's something that is like consistently the Borat Moai is always so great because like it's just funny. I think it's just because I'm a girl, obviously, that it's just kind of one of those things. Like it's funny for Tepper to do it, but it's great because he also just blows past it every time I say it. Like he got so used to it.
Right.
That's got it. Like I think I've called Jen Tepper my wife more than Tepper refers to her as my wife. So
that's
I like that.
I think I like the birthday thing. You know, I just like seeing whose celebrity birthday it is. And sometimes I don't know them, but I think I like that one. And that's one of my favorites.
That's the thing is obviously for however many literally thousands of episodes or just 1,000 around that time episode that he always would do the Ranger fact of the day.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that's kind of pre your time a little bit, at least pre your time on the show perspective. But we had to come up with something else because we were running out like baseball stats. While that's one of the only sports that you could probably get into the thousands with stats, not the only sport, I guess that's not a good term, but there's just consistently like one number after another, and it not being like the same handful of people, you know, like in basketball it would be the handful of people of, you know, the Michael Jordans, the LeBron James, the Kobe Bryants that have like consecutive numbers of that high, but yeah, the birthday thing actually we had to come up with something else.
Right. Ryan Smiga said Thanksgiving Countdown. I think that's a good one, too.
Oh, yeah.
I always like the Thanksgiving Countdown, and it's just unique, you know, because a lot of people, they'll do, like, Christmas or something, but Tepper, of course, his favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. So you got to have that Thanksgiving holiday in there. I can't wait to come up with our own bits for our own podcast. It's going to be so exciting. We're going to have lots of bits galore if I have anything to do with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too, is with any section of Dave Campbell's, like there's no lack of bits. Like we have bits that are probably not acceptable for us to say in front of microphones per se, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
So there's just bits like literally sprinkled all over this place.
Yeah. Well, and we've got so many inside jokes, you and me, already. So I feel like
absolutely.
The bits that we have are they're just going to be so golden.
It'll be good.
Ish Tepper and Craven, whoever else are going to get so sick of our bits.
We're
going to turn it into real life.
Yeah, we should really just have a podcast where we make fun of the men in the office. I think that would be fun.
I think that'd get a lot of viewers.
We do it off the microphone.
Yeah.
So why not do it on the microphone.
Yeah, I mean, Ish walked in here in the studio a couple minutes ago, and we just ripped him apart.
That's
like we just completely
one of my favorite pastimes.
Oh, of course, yes. That's one of my favorite pastimes, too, to bring the men in the office down.
He said, I don't have bits. Yes, you do. He's watching the show.
Of course he is. Hi, Ish. Miss ya. Wish you were on the show. But you got to do work, I guess.
Yeah, we asked Ish if he wanted to come on with us, and he said, I got to do an interview. Like, we're here to do our jobs or something.
Yeah, seriously. This is our job. Yeah, I know, right?
This guy.
The nerve. The nerve of him. Gosh.
All right. With that being said, hit the theme expo.
Pickle! Hit the arrow sign.
Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas. It is Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. My name is Ashley Pickle. I'm the executive producer of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Texan Live.
Yeah.
And Texas Football, a magazine. We do a lot here. TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, or listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast version of your choice. Thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm. She's everyone's favorite Mal pal. It is Mallory Hartley. How are you, lady?
I'm good. I'm good, ma'am. Thanks for having me on today.
Little lady.
Little lady. I'm good. Thanks for having me on today.
Maybe that's your new.
No,
that's it. We're
it's
just
not.
Gonna refer to you as little lady.
Please don't. I beg you.
All right. Well, today is Friday, Hawaiian Shirt Friday, April 29th, 209 days until Thanksgiving. April 29th, the birthday of a Texas great in Willie Nelson. Happy 88th birthday to... I don't know if Willie has a nickname because it's like George is the king. You're not going to know any of this. She doesn't like country music.
Nope.
But Willie, an LP favorite. There we go.
Yeah.
This is episode 1377 on today's show, my friends. It is Whataburger Super Team season. We're going through and talking with the 40 prestigious athletes that were named to the 2021, I guess, Whataburger Super Team.
Yes.
And today we're going to run. Mallory had a great conversation with Kobie McKinzie, the linebacker out of Lubbock Cooper, who has now made his way to Norman, Oklahoma, over at OU. So we'll hear from Kobie McKinzie. And then in the back half of the show, it is Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday, where we answer your questions. So we are going to run that Whataburger thing. Go ahead and start getting those questions in. This is your opportunity. Anything you've ever wanted to ask the little lady over there, you can ask her.
I don't like that.
It's too good.
I'm not going to respond to you if you call me that.
She's going to be like, who?
Who's that? Who? Never heard of her.
But before we get to all of that, Malpal, do we have first four through the door?
We do, and I'm going to cheat a little bit because I don't exactly know what it was. But we're going to go with Tony Blaylock, Just Chad. We'll go Ish, and Aaron Flynn. Welcome in, fellas.
I like 3 of those. I'm not sure how
3 out of the 4 we like.
One. And I'm talking about Ish. I hope everyone recognizes that. I like the other 3.
See, yes.
All right, so before we get started, again, we'll have Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday in the back half of the show. So go ahead, Facebook, YouTube, any of those, send in your questions. We have a couple that came in on Twitter, but we will be answering those in the back half of the show. But before we get there, Mallory had a fantastic talk with one of our 40 prestigious athletes that made the 2021 Whataburger Super Team. This one was former Lubbock Cooper linebacker Kobie McKinzie. Here is Mallory's conversation with the now Oklahoma linebacker Kobie McKinzie.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Whataburger are proud to honor the best and the brightest stars in Texas high school football through the Whataburger Super Team. For the 2021 season, Texas high school football fans across the state nominated more than 5,000 players, resulting in more than 300,000 ballots on TexasFootball.com. And of all those, 40 outstanding athletes rose to the top to be named with this unique honor. And today we are so proud to celebrate Kobie McKinzie of Lubbock Cooper High School with the 2021 Whataburger Super Team Award. Joining us in the celebration is the head football coach of the Lubbock Cooper Pirates, Chip Darden, and a Whataburger representative, Mr. Casey Keene. First of all, thank you guys for being here to join me in the celebration for Kobie and to recognize him with such an amazing honor. So without further ado, Kobie, we'll go ahead and begin with you. What was your initial reaction when you heard your name announced as one of the Super Team Award recipients?
It was honestly a blessing, to say nonetheless. I'm fortunate to be one of 40 guys to have this award in the state of Texas. As you know, and as everybody knows, football in the state of Texas is a huge deal. So to be one of 40 guys, out of thousands, is just an honor. And I'm blessed to be awarded this.
And what does it mean to you to be named as a 2020 Whataburger Super Team player?
It means a lot. Just for the fact, you said that only 40 kids a year receive this award. It's not something that you get just given to you. You got to earn this, and when you're finally able to earn it, I think it's something you really cherish because, like you said, it's a unique award to receive.
Absolutely. And bringing it back to the Pirates a little bit, what does it mean for you to be able to represent Lubbock Cooper with such a prestigious award like this one?
It means a lot. Lubbock Cooper will forever be in my heart. That school has done more for me than I can do for them. And I'll always feel that way about that school. And honestly, it means everything because those are memories that you'll never forget and you can always go back and look on. Those are awards that you can go back and show your kids or just something like that. Those are just cool things to have and to be presented with.
And of course, you've got some big plans for next year. You already in Norman right now, you're playing football for the University of Oklahoma. How thankful are you that you still got a Whataburger about 10 minutes away from you so you can go whenever you want?
Right, man. I'm thankful. I've got to go about twice since I've been here, so it's been good. It's been good. It's not a lot of people. It's a lot of guys that go here that had never had Whataburger. My roommate was one of them. That was one of the first times that I went to Whataburgers. I took him and we went and had it.
Man, that's so awesome. I love it. I'm glad you gave him some of the taste of Texas a little bit.
No doubt.
Coach, we'll move on to you. Knowing how prestigious this award really is, how special was it for you and your coaching staff to see Kobie claim a spot on the Whataburger Super Team?
Yeah, it was a neat deal, and I think as Kobie said, just well earned. He earned it, and he's had to manage a lot that I think many high school kids don't have to do, and he had a spotlight on him starting in 8th grade, and he managed that, and still. I think what was neat was seeing that his senior year was his best year of football, and sometimes you get guys with high expectations, they peak early. So I think it was just a good recognition of what he's done. And he's real nice to say stuff about Lubbock Cooper, but he's done a lot for Lubbock Cooper, and so it's a nice recognition for him.
And kind of going off of that just a little bit, what kind of an impact does Kobie receiving a spot on the 2020 Whataburger Super Team have on your entire program?
Yeah, it's very big, just any recognition like that, and I think it lets all of our programs see that with some hard work and some dedication that you can be recognized in the state of Texas and be recognized with some of the great programs that we look at and we try to be like, that you can be recognized with them with the right attitude. And that's another thing with him is I think he's a good person, and that has helped him to get more recognition. It's helped him to get to where he is right now.
Absolutely. And what does it mean to have sponsors like Whataburger involved in supporting local Texas high school football programs like Lubbock Cooper?
Yeah, we're, as Kobie mentioned, Texas high school football we're biased, but we think it's the best there is. And getting to me local places and somewhere that's based out of Texas involved and helping to recognize people, helping to put a spotlight on high school athletes is important to us. And so we appreciate them and appreciate you guys at Texas football also doing that and letting these kids get recognition because we think they deserve it.
Of course. And we got to talk a little bit about your Pirates before we let you go. Coming off an extremely successful season, going 13-2 on the year. Of course, Kobie was involved in that. What can we expect to see from your squad in 2022?
Yeah, Kobie was on varsity for 4 years, and he had a 50-7 record as a varsity football player, which is pretty remarkable. So some big shoes to fill there with Kobie graduating and moving on, but the expectations are the same. We have high expectations, and we're pretty careful with how we see expectations. We don't necessarily say we got to win a state championship or it's a negative year. We got to win a district championship. It's the cliche, the process, and us getting better. But we've got high expectations, and our guys expect to win, and we're bumping up in a classification. But that's fine. We'll still have the same expectation, and we're expecting a good year.
Absolutely. We look forward to watching you guys this season too. Casey, we'll throw it over to you now. What does it mean for Whataburger to be able to show their support in local Texas high school football teams?
Well, Texans love their Whataburger and their high school football. So we are proud to partner with Dave Campbell's Texas football to honor the brightest and the best players from our home state.
And what does Whataburger hope to accomplish by presenting hardworking student athletes like Kobie this award?
This is for the third consecutive year, Dave Campbell's Texas high school football has rose to the challenge to have these student athletes nominated. Over 5,000 players in Texas were nominated, resulting in over 300,000 ballots on TexasHighSchoolFootball.com. Of those nominated, 40 rose to the challenge, and we want to be a part of that. We want to honor those students that rose to that challenge in Texas.
And lastly, how much of a success has the super team partnership with Dave Campbell's Texas football actually been?
It's been fantastic. We want to honor those outstanding players in our state. We want to be able to highlight them. It is a natural fit with Dave Campbell's and Whataburger to do this partnership.
Absolutely. And before I let you guys go, we can't go through a whole Zoom call, a Whataburger Zoom call, without talking about our favorite go-to order. So, Kobie, we're going to begin with you. What's your go-to order, man?
Patty melt, no onions. Or a large
onions?
fry.
What?
No onions. No onions.
Right.
I can't do it. Or a large fry. Sweet tea and creamy pepper on the side. That's the money order right there.
And that creamy pepper, you can't beat it. Coach, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going water chicken all the way with a large fry. And then a pro tip for everybody is you substitute that drink for a milkshake, like a Dr. Pepper milkshake. Oh, man.
Yes.
Let's go.
Kobie, how do you feel about Coach choosing the chicken over the patty melt? Like, what?
That's crazy, but depending on the day, I might choose the green chili double over the patty melt. So they don't got those out here though. So that's the thing. That's a West Texas thing right there.
Absolutely. And then Casey, our Whataburger representative, how about you?
Patty melt, large fry, large Dr. Pepper.
All right. That sounds pretty good. I might go to Whataburger here after work in a little bit, but man, that sounds pretty good. Well, guys, on behalf of Dave Campbell's Texas football and Whataburger, congratulations, Kobie, for being named to our 2021 Whataburger Super Team. And we wish you the best of luck next season at Oklahoma and beyond. Coach Darden, we appreciate the time you carved out to help celebrate Kobie and all of his accomplishments. And Casey, thank you to you and your team at Whataburger for your continued support of the 2021 Whataburger Super Team.
There he is. Former Lubbock Cooper linebacker Kobie McKinzie, now at Oklahoma. Always great, I'm sure, to speak with Chip Darden.
Yeah.
All the folks out there from the Hub City are great, and he was a player that impressed in high school, and have no doubt that he's gonna make some noise.
Well. Yeah, I always love to ask the question when I do those. I love to ask them like, "Hey, are you excited that there's still gonna be a Whataburger near you?" And I didn't know for sure, so I had to text one of my friends that goes to Oklahoma, and I was like, "Hey, is there a Whataburger like on campus?" She goes, "Yeah, there's one like 5 minutes away from campus."
Awesome.
And I was like, that's a good question. And they're always like, heck yeah, we're super excited. We don't have to leave Whataburger
Did you see
behind.
that? I haven't tried it yet, and maybe people can put it. There's a couple things that I have to break down here because we haven't talked about Whataburger in a hot minute. One, have you had that new ketchup that they have?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Is it good?
It is so good. So it's made with hot sauce.
Interesting.
So it's like spicy ketchup, but it's actually made with hot sauce.
Okay, that's super interesting.
I went down to Houston for a Texan Live cord wrapping party. It was a solo cord wrapping party, but it was a party nonetheless.
Good.
And I had it down there for the first time. Super good. If you can find that ketchup, get it.
Yeah.
Second order of business when it comes to Whataburger, and this is something I have not had yet. Did you see that they came out with a spicy honey butter chicken biscuit?
Yep. My thing is, I want to try it, but I'm usually not out like during the weekdays at at that time because you can only have it. So you can only have breakfast
11
after
to
11. Right.
Yeah.
And like we're always here when it's in the morning.
And that's
I don't know. I
not-
just think the time is just not good for me to get Whataburger breakfast.
That's
so.
not one of those things. I don't know how I feel about that being spicy for like legitimate breakfast.
Yeah.
Now, eating it at 11 o'clock p.m., maybe in a certain state of mind, I think that has potential to be one of the best things I've ever eaten. I don't know how I feel about going at 8 o'clock in the morning and getting a spicy sandwich. Now, like, spicy breakfast, I love, but it's got to be some sort of Mexican
sausage
food.
Or,
something like that. Like, it's got to be, I want to add salsa or Tabasco or something. I just don't know if spicy chicken, and I looked it up. It's not the chicken that's spicy, because I figured they would just do it like their spicy chicken sandwich. It's the honey butter sauce. They made the honey butter sauce spicy.
Wow.
I just don't know. I just feel like that's probably not good at...
Right. Now, I actually do have
I bet it's great. Not something that I would enjoy that early in the morning.
Now, I actually have a breakfast hot take. I don't know what your take is on this. I know you love breakfast.
You
do
breakfast
love
all the way.
Yes. I do not like sweet breakfast.
Oh.
I don't like pancakes. I don't like waffles. I'll eat them, but I won't enjoy it as much as I would if I got like a breakfast sandwich or an omelet. Omelet is my go-to breakfast meal. Oh, the mic fell. Oops. I see how passionate you are about this take, so I'm glad. So I'm glad that you agree with me because I didn't know how you were going to feel because I knew you were team breakfast.
Well,
like it says it in your... That's true. That's true.
Sweets,
so okay, that makes sense. Good.
That's clear-cut easy for me.
Right.
But no, you want to talk about a conversation that we can have. Like, I could make the rest of this show be just about omelets and have no issue with that. I love omelets. Like, the TikTok type of like sound going around that it's like,
of course,
this is something that I'm obsessed with, like not in a bad way, but I couldn't live without it.
Of course I do.
That's how I feel about omelets. And people are like, well, what's your favorite type of omelet? I'm like, why do we have to choose a favorite? Why can't we just love them all for who they are?
Right. Now, do you get, real quick, do you get ham or do you get like bacon?
Well, both. Por qué no los dos?
Okay. I choose.
Like meats, veggies, everything.
Right.
I want it all.
I choose ham, but.
I do think ham and an omelet is my like. If I did have to choose a meat that was my favorite to put in there, yes.
Yeah.
But that's because I would typically like to get bacon on the side.
Okay. Good. Fair point.
But no, when I went to Mexico last year, there was we stayed in an all-inclusive resort, and there was a omelet, like an unlimited omelet bar.
Oh my gosh.
When I say I ate my weight in omelets, like I legitimately mean it. I genuinely think I ate the same number of pounds as I am in number of pounds of omelets.
Now,
I have an omelet problem.
That's something that should be in every all-inclusive resort is an omelet buffet. You know, where you can just put anything you want in an omelet or order something.
The way that one worked is because they made it like served to order right there. So basically they have all the ingredients laying out and you go through and you tell the person I want that and that and that. So think of it like a Subway. So you tell them and they put it all in a bowl then they crack the eggs and they do it real fast and it's crazy because they're cooking it on such a high heat but they do it so quickly and it was awesome.
Yum. That sounds
but yeah,
so
I mean,
great.
I'm just going that and that and all.
I'll
take a lot.
I'll take it all. I love it.
Anyway, we got man, that was
shout out Kobie McKinzie.
Shout out Kobie McKinzie
and Whataburger. We love you.
We love you, Whataburger. We kind of rabbit trailed there, but anyway, all right. I'll do this break real fast. We are Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon talking football in the Lone Star State. We hope you will consider becoming a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. It's 2 magazines, a year's worth of online content, our nonsense, but especially we are in the depths of magazine season right now. Like as much as Mallory Valerie is working on a story right now. She's gonna have she'll have a byline in the magazine, but we are hard at work on that. And if you want to guarantee that we will mail the magazine directly to you, sign up now, because there will be a cutoff date. We will check on that and announce it next week, but there is a cutoff date to where we can't guarantee that you'll get it before it hits news shelves, which is the big thing. Instead of having to wait for the normal people to have it, you can be special. So make yourself special and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber at texasfootball.com/subscribe. All right, Malpal, it is time for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your Helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealers.com to learn more. Woo!
We love our good friends at North Texas Honda. What if we
do.
What if we took a Honda to go get a spicy honey butter chicken biscuit?
Oh my gosh, sponsorships galore. Let's
You'll
go.
love to see it.
You'll love to see it.
All right, Malpal, do we have any questions from the people?
We do, and I do want to start off with this one because you are currently wearing a Hawaiian shirt. So, when will there be DCTF Hawaiian shirts on the merch store? We do have merch out right now, so go check that out. I think is the link on our website?
TexasFootball.com/merch.
Yes. So go check that out. You got a lot of stuff. We ordered a cup with the Dave Campbell's logo on there.
Oh, the pint glass?
The pint glass, because
nice.
We have a bunch of other pint glasses. We've got one that says our last name, Michigan State one. So it just fits in really well with our other collection. But yeah, sweatshirts, shirts, anything you want. So yes, we need to do a Hawaiian shirt.
Dude,
DCTF
say less.
Merch.
I don't have a DCTF Hawaiian shirt, and that feels like a massive hole in my resume.
You could just stick a logo on there.
That's
but it's not the same.
No,
it's not the same.
And we've talked about it, and I promise, I'm making a promise to you, the people, right now, that we will get on that. I can't guarantee the Hawaiian shirt portion of it. I will try my hardest on that. But what I can guarantee you is we talked about doing a shirt of the month, like releasing a t-shirt of the month.
Ooh,
and we will get on that. I know we have some kind of ready to go. I just don't think that we've had the time to put them out there yet, but we will.
Yeah.
I am going to put it down on the to-do list that we will start doing a shirt of the month. Hopefully one of those being a Hawaiian shirt, because that would get me hyped.
Oh yeah, I like that idea.
Huge fan.
Okay, so when you say shirt of the month, what else would we do?
Like a slogan, doing something like that, for instance, if you want to talk, exactly.
Okay, bet.
Like something like that.
I love that.
And I don't know, that one's probably trademarked by like something like another bit we say all the time is time has no meaning. So that
that's
would
a good
be
one. That's a good
something that's timely, and
right.
They would all be bit shirts basically.
Right. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe we'll just do one with your face on it.
Okay.
Everyone's favorite Malpal.
Little lady. We're going on to the next question before we get into that topic. Question for the show. When y'all are showing a video, like the pics or the Whataburger Super Team interview, what are y'all doing in the studio? You want to start off?
I mean, that's a loaded question a little bit because, to be honest, we're most of the time just sitting here BSing.
Yeah.
There are times during the season in particular when we're running really long videos, or we have 2 videos back to back. If we have 2 if both of our segments or 3 or 4 of the segments are most of the time we wouldn't do more than 2, but if 2, this is a long-winded way of saying if there are 2 segments that are both video and we're basically the whole show is recorded, there's a lot of times where Tepper and I will sit here and actually get work done.
Yeah.
But if it's a 6-minute interview, we're just talking.
Yeah. we're about to schedule our pedicures.
Yeah.
So that's what we talked about during this one for a specific example. Yeah.
We can go get a pedicure this evening.
Before the Grizz game tonight.
Exactly. But there's a lot of times get up and go to the bathroom if we have to, or Tepper will go make coffee or start heating up lunch or something. I don't know. It's always different, but most of the time it's just BSing.
We're just BSing in here. That's what we do here, right?
We do that on the mic, so I can guarantee you that we're doing it off the mic as well.
Exactly. Let's go with roller coasters or water slides. I think I already know what your answer is going to be on this one.
Hands down, roller coasters.
Yep.
I'm not saying that I don't like water slides. I didn't for a long time. I do a lot more now.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a roller coaster fiend. For anyone that doesn't know, that's what we used to do for family vacations. Is we used to travel the U.S. and go to all the different Six Flags parks, because if you have pro tip here if you don't know this, but if you have like a gold season pass from Six Flags, you can get into any park in the U.S. with that same pass.
That I didn't know. Any park in the U.S.? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
And so there's 13 different Six Flags, one in Canada and one in Mexico. Haven't been to either of those, but I have been to 8 out of the 13. So that was like, I mean, we actually, the local newspaper did a story on our family about one of our, like, we did an extreme like roller coaster vacation. We went it was a road trip. We did 3,000 miles all the way up to Ohio to go to
that is so fun though.
Oh, why Kings? I gotta look this up. My parents are currently just cursing at the screen right now that I can't remember
this money and you can't even remember.
Anyway, yeah, no, we stopped at parks like all the way along the thing, and so that's what we would do. So I mean, you want to sit down, like we would always watch the Coaster War shows too. Well, huge roller coaster family.
And I think, too, it definitely has something to do with the time of year. Because, so I live in Arlington, and I've lived in Arlington my whole life. And, of course, I live 10 minutes away from Six Flags and Hurricane Harbor.
Oh, yeah.
So in the summertime, I'm definitely going to Hurricane Harbor more often than Six Flags because you sit in a sweaty seat after somebody on the Texas Giant or the Titan.
Yeah.
That's pretty gross. And you're already sweating.
Yeah.
So it's like I would much rather be at Hurricane Harbor at that point going down the toilet bowl or something, you know? Or
I guess
that's my kind of take on it.
Here is a thing about water parks that are a little bit underrated too, is the fact that if you bring up a great point, because if you're going to Six Flags, you are regardless waiting in line for a ride or you're just kind of standing there. At a water park, you can choose to wait in line to go on the water slides, but also if you just want to go be in the lazy river all afternoon, or you just want to go be in like the wave pool thing, like
that's a good point.
You can. You don't have to. So like you can still do stuff without having to always be waiting in line. So I will give water parks like the nudge on that, but ultimately, roller coasters hands down.
Any time of year, other than that, I'm going roller coaster. They're just so much more fun.
They are.
Right? I love it. All right. Daniel Sanchez, shout out. He is going to his first Stars game tonight.
Oh,
love
Team
the
Stars.
Absolutely. We clinched.
Yes, we did.
Any advice you guys have for it? I've got one. When you sing the national anthem, you yell, to top of your lungs, Stars, both times. That is the best advice I can give anybody that's going to their first Stars game.
Yep,
because it's such an experience. I've never experienced a team do that before.
No.
Like the crowd, you just feel like you're all a part of one thing, and it that sounds so sappy as a sports fan, but it's so true because that's what you long for, as a fan.
And I think the other thing is too, like, this gets dicey, but I think that is a sacred tradition at a sporting event, and so most of the time everyone is either dead silent during it or they're singing the national anthem itself.
Right.
So the fact that everyone there buys into doing that, because it might be it could be seen as disrespectful to ruin. You could say the national anthem.
No,
but the fact that
agree.
everyone does it and they embrace that portion of it, I think is a really cool, like you said, a really cool thing. You feel it, like you get those goosebumps, and everything. I think the only other thing that I could add to that is hockey. The opening to a hockey game is super, super cool. Like, it's basically a light show. I'm not going to ruin it for
lights,
you.
Basically.
But get there early. That's the one thing. Like, there's a lot of sporting events that I'm like, if we miss the first thing, as long as we're there for tip, or as long as we're there for first kick or whatever, it's like, okay. But that is genuine. Like, you can compare it a lot to the NBA of how the intros and stuff really add to the experience. So don't miss the intros.
Right.
That's one you want to be there on time for. Like, on time as in you want to be there early for.
Yeah. And to answer his question, we've actually been to a Stars game together. We went to the Stars and the Kraken game a couple of months ago. I guess that was back in February. But we've kind of taken the Kraken in as our own. One of our good friends went with us. She somehow became a huge Kraken fan overnight. You know, she heard about the newest team in Seattle, and she's like, I'm going to be a fan of the Kraken. And we're like, all right, let's go to the Stars and Kraken game. So
yeah,
that's the game that we went to.
Like any other time, not when they play the Stars. We're Stars homers.
Yes,
but,
yes, of course.
Yeah, and go out and hang out in front of the AAC beforehand, too, because there's just a bunch of stuff. You'll see Victory Green out there and everything. Have a blast, man. You'll
go have dinner before.
And we know Daniel Sanchez has plenty of green gear from being a North Texas fan. So
yes. I love it. Rep. Aaron Flynn asked, how did y'all enjoy your first soccer game? We went to an FC Dallas game first time last Saturday. And man, I am not too into soccer. I'm getting there. But that was freaking cool.
Dude,
that
it was so
really
much fun.
awesome.
Like
I loved that.
It was just a blast. So we went with Ish and our friend that most of y'all probably who are watching this know, but we went with Goof and Ish, and they're big soccer people. Like Ish is definitely peak soccer fan.
Yes.
And he's done a really good job of kind of like teaching us along the way. But it was just a blast. The experience is great. And we actually sat closest to the Houston Dynamo side, which was the opposing team. We were there as FC Dallas fans, just because we've kind of just been adopted into that since we live up here. But it was, the whole time, the drums going the whole
drums.
time.
That's
like,
insane.
The chants going the whole time. Like, that's you want to talk about a good atmosphere that it never, and that's what's so crazy is it was 1-0 until about the 86th minute, which for those of you that aren't soccer fans, there's only 90 minutes in regulation and then extra time after that. So for being something that it takes so long to score, like the energy is just impeccable because it could get boring if the energy wasn't up like
if it was like 0-0 the whole time. And I thought it was super cool that the entire fan section was filled for the Houston Dynamo side, and not a single person sat down entire until about the 86th minute, probably just because they were down and stuff. But like that was unbelievable. Yeah, they traveled, they brought drums, none of them sat down. Like that's a fan base that is unlike any other. I feel like soccer fan bases are pretty elite.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like you think about basketball. There is constantly there is action always happening while the game clock is going. And yes, you could technically go 6 minutes without anyone scoring a bucket, but there's still action like always going. It's like
it's not like baseball where it's super slow most of the time.
Yeah, but it's like with soccer, you can draw 0-0. There can be legitimately no real action happening.
I guess that's true, yeah.
And it's still just a blast. But I feel like hockey does a really good job of that too. Crowds are really good. Baseball's just baseball's a different animal. It's just a calm sport most of the time. But hockey and soccer are very familiar in that where there's not a whole lot of scoring per se.
Yeah.
But the fans make it that you have to pick up the energy yourself because it could get to the point where you're at midfield for 45 minutes straight and it's like, what are we doing?
What do we do now? Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, it was a blast.
Yeah, very fun. Let's go. Goof responded to our tweet on Twitter. He wanted Ish and I to have a Suns and Mavs debate. Ish is not here, so I can just say the Suns suck. Go Mavs, MFFL. He's not here to dispute that, so I don't know what else to say.
You know how much I hate siding with Ish on literally anything.
But you're going to, and
go Suns.
I know. It makes me really sad, but
Devin Booker fist bump a baby. That was awesome.
Luka argues with babies, so that's even better.
Luka would argue with a brick wall.
I know.
There could be a dead fly laying on the table, and he'd be like, "Come on, that's a foul."
I know. I am excited to see Luka and Devin Booker, though, go head-to-head. I think that'll be super interesting and super fun.
It'll be a great series, and what I am very excited about is the fact that we know a diehard Suns fan. Like, that to me, especially because who wins out of this? It's me. I win out of this because realistically speaking, I don't have any true rooting interest on either of these two teams winning. But I get to see literally my closest friends going at each other's throats, and I don't have to worry about it. I can just sit back and enjoy every second of it. And so it is fun. Like if they would have been playing the Pels, we would have had a rooting interest too because Aaron and Will and all that. But it's nice when you don't have a rooting interest, but you get to see people that you really care about going at each other.
Right,
so
right.
I am pumped for this. I really am.
And a fun fact for all you Dallas sports fans, next week there will be a playoff either Mavs game or Stars game on every single night. So my heart is going to be I'm probably going to be very tired. I'm very tired today because we had a 9 p.m. tip last night, which is, I don't like that. But I'm going to be very tired next week. So
that's a lot.
That'll be fun.
Man, think about here's the true crazy thing. Like, think about the workers. So for anyone who's listening to this that doesn't live up in the DFW, the Stars and the Mavs play at the same arena. They play at the American Airlines Center in Dallas.
Good point.
So there are times, and they didn't do one this year, but there are times where they will have a doubleheader throughout and this is regular season, this isn't playoffs, but they will legitimately have most of the time a Mavs game in the morning. They'll take off the court and then they'll put the Stars ice on and they'll play that night. They usually do it once a year. They'll schedule a doubleheader on purpose and people will go to it.
Right.
But that'll be a lot for those AAC workers this week, having playoff games every single night. Like obviously some of them won't be on the road and stuff, but still that's
I would love to see that process. The actual like the ice going away,
lapses of it.
Yeah, I think the Detroit Red Wings and Pistons do that too. Mm-hmm. I think they play in the same arena, but I would just love to sit in and watch that. Thick in, thick out, like the whole process. Yeah, just because I think that's super interesting.
You got to think about it too. It's not only putting down the ice, which it's just a process that I would be interested to see. I've actually come to think of it, I've never seen how they put down ice.
Really? Not even like at your time at Ballot or your intern with the Stars or whatever? Yeah.
No. Huh. But they also around the ice, then they have to put up all the actual stuff. That's a big switch.
That is a big job.
Yeah, it'll be a big upcoming week for Dallas. Yeah.
I'm excited.
for Mallory. Only Mallory.
Do you want an ender?
Yeah, let's go an ender.
What is the most misspoken idiom that annoys you? I got one if you don't have one yet.
Have to think about that.
A common one is the what was the example that I don't remember who asked it. Mine is I just forgot it. Year and year. What is it?
Man, this is going great.
I couldn't even.
I think. Okay, let's see. Who asked this?
It was like
Tony Blaylock says his is I could care less when it's actually I couldn't care less. That makes sense.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I can't remember what mine was. It was like, oh, got it. It was, we'll play it by ear. If you're talking about like making plans or something, you don't want to make them too far advanced. A lot of people will say, yeah, we'll just play it by ear. I've also heard people say, we'll play it by year, like year, Y-E-A-R. And I'm like,
why? It's tomorrow.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think that one kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. It's ear instead of year if you say that. So I don't like that.
I'm debating as to whether or not I want to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say
Just do it.
This is just me growing up in Llano, and I really hope that no one else is watching this show right now. Y'all all have to promise to never bring this up again, especially not to Tepper. This what happens here stays between us, okay? We're in the trust circle. So, read it and weep, like the phrase. I don't even know if that's considered an idiom, to be honest, but read it and weep.
Okay, I think I've heard that before.
And weep.
Okay.
So like, if we're doing some sort of competition and I go, yeah, read it and weep. Growing up in Llano, I don't know why. It doesn't make sense now that I know what the actual phrase is, but I always thought that it was.
Oh boy.
I always thought it was read it in wheat.
That's a Llano thing.
It makes no sense, and I don't know why.
No, I've never heard that phrase before, and wheat doesn't make sense. So even if I didn't, okay, well, that's a Llano thing. That is definitely a Llano thing.
I just never thought about it because I was just like, all right, that's what it is. Read it in wheat, like not in white bread. You're reading it in wheat. So anyway, that was the moment that I came up here and realized that I had been saying that wrong for my entire life, and I really just never thought about it because I was like, that's just it. That's the phrase.
Okay.
Yeah. That was an ender.
Okay. Well, I did forget about the uniforms one. Somebody did ask.
This was a really good question.
Right.
Okay,
somebody did ask.
Yeah. Let's end on a better note than my idiocracy.
Let's. Somebody asked, give your top 3 best football uniforms in the state of Texas. Now you did college, and I just put down a couple of high school ones.
And he said we couldn't use UNT.
We could not use UNT. So
which is tough, but fair.
Because UNT is obviously the best one.
Yeah, and we did research before this because we did put out on Twitter that it was just going to be us two dorks doing this. No, I'm not going particular order here, but 3 of my favorite ones. I love the traditional UT orange top, white pants. I love that they've never changed it. They've stuck true. I think that it's a clean look, and I think it just brings
tradition.
Yeah, it just brings back good memories for me of watching them growing up. So those will forever be one of my favorite uniforms. The SMU Dallas jerseys, if we want to talk about something that's new, they're outstanding. And we talked about this too when it comes to color schemes. Like red, white, and blue is really hard to mess up. But they found a way to really perfect it. I think the Triple D helmet is super cool when it's really shiny too. I think SMU is they're in their bag with uniforms right now. And then I love the Texas Tech all black uniforms.
You can't beat the honestly anything all black. You can't.
To be honest, I mean and I said that. I mean, I know we're not allowed to talk about North Texas, but the North Texas all blacks are great too.
They're so clean. I just think green.
When you have that, but I think the thing that I love about it with Tech, maybe even more than the mean green all black ones, sometimes it's a little bit hard with the mean green, like the color shade of green that we have to really make it pop. They do lighten it a little bit on those.
Yeah.
But the Texas Tech, I mean, the red sticks out and it's very bright.
That's a good one.
The TCU all black uniforms with like the red things need to go. Those need to be buried. They need to be burned. They need to go. Those are the worst ones. TCU has good uniforms. I'm not saying that I don't like their traditional purple ones are great. They're
without
black
the red.
Ones, yes, the red. They should never use red.
I don't understand that.
Horned frogs. They're trying to go. Horned frogs shoot blood out of their eyes, so that's kind of the purpose that they
really.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I had no idea.
We're learning. This is an educational podcast.
We need to pull up a video and put it on the show or something. That is so freaking cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's where they were going with the red. They wanted it to be a slight
that
accent
makes
mark.
More sense.
It doesn't work.
Right. With the purple.
But yeah, so I'll go the burnt orange with the white pants, the SMU Dallas jerseys, and then the Texas Tech all black. I think those are peak. Especially they typically wear those at Jones Stadium at night, and that's just I love that stadium.
Yeah.
So I think it just adds to it.
I did a couple high school ones. Now, of course, I don't know all of the 1,400 high school uniforms.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
Fired. Trash.
And you work in high school football? Like, wow. Okay.
Could have fooled me.
Here are the ones that came to my mind. One of them I kind of looked up because I thought it was kind of cool. We love the Denton Geyers all black uniforms with the silver. Arlington Martin has the same ones, but I just love the silver shiny too. I think Martin actually has a little bit of glitter added to theirs.
Yeah.
Which sounds kind of weird, but when you look at it,
it's nice.
Under the lights, it just sparkles. Man, those really catch your eye. I also love the China Spring baby blue. I love baby blue, and I love that their color is baby blue. And when it's just, and they've got like the big numbers on the front of their jerseys too, so it just looks so clean. Yeah, I love that. And then my last one, Leander Glenn. They've got all white uniforms.
Stormtrooper look,
and it just says Grizz on the top right here. And I was like, yep, that's it right there. I love that. I'm a Grizzlies fan, a Memphis Grizzlies fan. So that right there, I was like,
I like that.
I like that uniform. So those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, and that's a pretty typical thing in college football too. The Stormtrooper, the all white Stormtrooper looks typically work with just about anything. Yep. I always like the all black. And the all white are just kind of the same thing. There are certain uniforms where I feel like any all color uniforms other than white and black, I'm always like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that they're ugly. They're just not. It doesn't like, ooh, those are nice.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yep.
So
that's it.
All right, that'll do it.
Yep.
That'll
do it.
Thank you for sticking with our nonsense.
Yes.
That's going to do it for us. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Twitter @DCTF. And, of course, see all of our fine work on TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to Kobie McKinzie, the OU linebacker from Lubbock Cooper, for I guess, getting nominated to the super team. Good job, brother. For Valerie Hartley, I'm Ashley Pickle. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. It really is getting bruised up, so you need to get it before it just breaks.
I'm sure you and Tep are tired of just holding it up there.
Yeah, we would have to think of something else to do, but I'm sure we could find something. Anyway, Vince Young, let's go
get it.
That'll do it for us. We will see you Monday on Texas Football Today.